What's up? What's up? What's up? Your boy Domuto. We back with another video today. We're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super Perfect Cell Max Overpowers Beast Gohan. A glimpse into Beerus power. Okay, little nigga. Okay, Cell Max. Then he overpowered my boy Gohan. Damn. And a glimpse into Beerus power. Okay, let me see what. Let's see what I'm really talking about.
As our story continues now back on Beerus' planet following the initial training session involving both Beerus and Whis, as with Beerus now shown visibly frustrated despite the fact of refusing to give up against Whis, was when Beerus went on to chime in, "Oh, this is just infuriating. Every time I feel as though I'm getting closer and closer towards maintaining Ultra Instinct, the next thing you know, it just slips right through my fingertips before I am able to get better adjusted to it. And so what exactly am I missing here?
What are you missing?
What's the secret to holding on to it during these high-intensity battles? As I am a god of destruction for crying out loud here, and so why is it so difficult? Why can't I sustain this power for longer than a few seconds, Whis? It's almost as though this Ultra Instinct is starting to taunt me, merely within reach when I need it the most, but gone when I try and capture it. And so now tell me, Whis, what is it going to take? How can I fuse it seamlessly with my destructive power? Beerus questions. I know that you know, and so how do I do it without dropping out of using that power? And just the mere fact that you're standing there with that ridiculous little smile on your face says it all. And so now tell me now, because I am not striving for power here just for the sake of having it, Whis. I'm out here to prove a point and to make a statement, and so I need answers as to how I can do it. As integrating Ultra Instinct with my destroyer abilities is very crucial here, and so I can't let this hurdle stop me. And so I want you to tell me everything that I need to know in order to sustain this strength, or we're going to have lots of problems. And so now spill it and tell me what it is that I need to do right now, Whis, or else.
Yeah, you better be demanding, ain't you?
Well, my lord, you're right. I do in fact know of how you can achieve this, but you should know better than anyone that I'm not just going to tell you without having to make you work for it, Whis continues, but I will go on and say this, so I hope that you remember, and that is that the very essence of Ultra Instinct solely lies within your subconscious reaction by letting go of your emotions rather than trying to exert control, Lord Beerus. For your immense power as a god of destruction is a conscious force, and so merging it with Ultra Instinct is about finding synergy and not dominance, Lord Beerus. But let us continue with your training and I will show you. I knew that you were hiding more information from me, Beerus went on to then shout by quickly firing off a blast. And I'm tired of you being all
so you're trying to burn Ultra Instinct
and
and
so now tell me how
his,
to amalgamate these powers into one.
Well,
Well, someone sounds a little grouchy, but in due time, for the answers that you seek will come to you before you know it, Whis responds. But I do promise you that the key in unlocking your true potential and evolving yourself beyond your prime will come soon. But until then, I want you to try and concentrate more in putting out more of your destroyer power into each of your attacks, while also liberating your mind within the last possible second before you are attacked, so that way you can allow for your body to go and move on its own while retaining focus in attacking me by using your all, Whis says. Why, you? Well, it's easier said than done, but fine, Beerus shouts upon being shown firing multiple blasts, as I'll go and give you exactly what you've asked for, so don't start complaining when I start using everything I have against you, Whis. So you want it? Well, here goes. To which, as Whis was then shown having to avoid each and every single one of Beerus' blasts, was when Whis then went on to respond, good, just like that. But can you see? Notice how I'm still very relaxed despite of knowing the fact that your attacks have gotten stronger, but since your mind appears to be all over the place, you aren't going to get very far if your mind isn't fully relaxed, Whis continues. But maybe you should go and try what Goku usually does when we train and see if that works for you. And this had done it, because with Beerus now infuriated at the fact of hearing Goku's name, Beerus had immediately gone as far as to cease fire in dashing towards Whis by then responding, oh, now that does it. What did I tell you about bringing that idiot's name during our training, Whis? Now you've done it. so don't move, with Whis responding, oh, don't worry, my lord, I know exactly what it was that I said, and though you may in fact wield incredible power in your own right, Whis went on to respond by then avoiding all of Beerus's attacks, my main goal here is to try and get your body to be as relaxed as possible while also keeping your mind on destruction, Whis adds, and even though this also requires for your mind to be relaxed too.
Imagine getting into a fight, you think you throwing your hardest swing at a nigga, and that nigga stopped it with a finger. Like, what you doing after that? Like, what you doing after that? Like, you gotta just take your L already. You just gotta walk away. Like, hey, bruh, I ain't mean it like that, man. I ain't mean it like that, man. You know how it is. Nigga, stop with it.
The only time that I need you to switch is when you're back on the attack, Whis continues. Think of it like a rotation of minds, if you will. When you're on the defensive, then relax your mind so that your body may move on its own. And when you're back on the attack, then focus your mind solely on destruction and nothing but destruction, and you should be fine. So my suggestion is for you to mainly go off of trying to swap in and out of mindsets first before you can acquire complete control over both powers at once, my lord. But with Beerus then shown having to quickly attempt to strike Whis, with Whis having to be shown getting out of the way, was when Beerus then went on to quickly respond, oh, don't you dare go and try to play coy with me, switching mindsets, Whis, really? What do you take me here for? Oh, damn you! Get back here, Whis, quit using your Ultra Instinct ability to escape me and come back here and fight me, do you hear me? Now where the hell did you just run off to? Oh, fine. Then I'll go and try and do what you said, but just know that you are not off the hook just yet. Do you understand?
Oh, shit.
Relax and let go, he says, Beerus went on to utter to himself upon closing his eyes. Well, easier said than done, but he's right. For I've been approaching this far too aggressively, and I need to ease this restless mind of mine and allow for my instincts to take over in the heat of battle. For I must learn to be calm within the heart of my own storm, Beerus continues, as I know that I can do it, but it's my anger that I seem to be having the most trouble in trying to fully control here. But even now, I can sense Whis coming, and although he is moving at a pace which I'm having trouble keeping up with, if I am to counter him, then I must try and let go of my anger for a moment and let my mind take over. But I can't help myself and put aside my desire for destruction. Focus, and listen, Beerus went on to power up by then saying to himself, I can feel him getting closer and closer, and that's when I'll need to go and make my move. So come on, steady, to reserve my destructive attacks until the moment calls for it. For there he is. I can feel him, Beerus went on to say to himself upon Whis being shown dashing towards him. Yes, now, to which as Whis was then shown attempting to strike Beerus, with Beerus shown having to now dodge each and every single one of Whis' strikes, was when Whis then went on to respond.
Okay.
Yes, there we are now. That's the way, Lord Beerus. And if you can keep this up and use this tactic as a way to avoid danger during a battle, then right before you attack, you will need to attack by using as much of your destructive power as you can, Beerus went on to continue to dodge. But I will go as far as to also warn you and say that if you allow for your mind to wander, even if it's just for a second during battle, then you will ultimately go right back to square one and be forced to go and try again, Lord Beerus. But at least you're finally starting to make progress by getting yourself used to it, Whis went on to continue upon spawning weights around Beerus' arms. But even if you are, your training with me is far from finished, my lord. And so these ought to spice things up and do the trick then. And while you appear to be getting better and better, I want to see on just how you respond when the weight of your training is significantly magnified. Well, what the heck is this? Are you serious right now, Whis? More weights again?
Man, ankle weights, them wrist weights, nigga.
You know it, with Whis responding, but of course. And while your body is starting to adapt to the physical demands of what Ultra Instinct requires, your mind is still anchored in the ways of destruction, which needs to be changed, but not changed in a drastic sense, but more along the lines of sharpening it, sort of like a sword, if you will. And so I want you to go and do what you are about to go and do against me again, Lord Beerus, with Beerus responding, this has to be some kind of a sick joke. We've been at it now for over an hour, fire non-stop, and this is your solution, Whis? You're sick,
pissed
you
off.
know that, and so quit smiling at me like that, because I know that you're expecting for me to quit at any moment. Well, I'd hope not, because Goku wouldn't ever go and throw in the towel against me when we trained together, Lord Beerus. As once again, Beerus was not having it, because
not
even
Goku
despite Beerus attempting to strike Whis, being shown dodging yet again, was what Whis then went on to continue. And while I don't mean any harm when I make these comments towards you, Lord Beerus, it does in fact go as far as to reveal your approach when angered, as your tendency to attack in a fit of rage, while it is understandable, will only go and get you so far, my lord. For the true mastery of your powers, especially when attempting to combine that with Ultra Instinct, requires more of a calculated and strategic approach rather than a very violent one, and to become the greatest, Whis continues, you must know when to unleash your fury and when to hold it back, as your challenge is to try and discern these movements, liberate your mind, combine the natures of both powers without relinquishing either, and to let the floodgates of your power be blown wide open, but only when it aligns perfectly with your instinctual responses, Whis continues. So now are you starting to see, Lord Beerus? Because if you do, then my question to you is, shall we continue with your training? With Beerus responding, you're out of your mind if you think that I'll just go and turn around and walk away after all that we've done to get to where we are
different,
now.
Beerus.
And so mark my words, Whis, and remember that there is no barrier that I won't break, no limit that I won't surpass, and no challenge that I won't answer, even if it means having to go through you. And while I know that there's far more for me to achieve and much more to my power than what I'm shown wielding at the moment, I don't plan on stopping until I am number one. And let's go, Whis, because we're not done. To which all the while, in the meantime, when then venturing back on over in seeing Orange Piccolo having to oversee Beast Gohan battle against Cell Max, was when Piccolo was shown having to stand back up by then responding, oh, this is a catastrophe that is far beyond anything that we were shown having to face before, especially now since we have to go and deal with Cell Max yet again, only now in his perfected form. And from the looks of it up there, Cell Max's power is starting to overwhelm Gohan's. He's struggling to hold his own up there, and every passing moment seems to be taking its toll on him too. I can sense Gohan's strength starting to diminish out there, Piccolo continues, and the power gap that was once between them is starting to widen. Oh, damn it all. This perfected Cell Max is far stronger than we anticipated, and unless Gohan can try and find a way to beat him, then Cell is going to crush him. But there has to be some kind of a way for us to be able to gain some leverage over that monster, but how is the question? Could that God of Destruction have been hinting at Cell Max's weakness being the same as it was before while he was incomplete? For it must be, and so unless there is something else that we aren't seeing, Piccolo continues, then there's no way that Gohan is going to be able to hold out long enough to survive up there against him. And so maybe that's the key. Maybe it's the top of his head that is his weakness again, but we have to go and hurry before it's too late and find out. To which back on over with Gohan and Cell, as Gohan was shown having to miss one of his punches upon having to attempt to strike Cell, was when Perfect Cell Max wants to respond, your performance is nothing but a disappointment to me, Gohan. And here I was hoping that you'd go and give me more than a challenge, especially when considering how you were so confident in your power before. But my question here is, where is that overblown power of yours now? Because despite this new power of yours, you are just as weak as you were before. And so you may fool the others with your so-called new strength, but I see right through you.
That nigga backhand punch you, Gohan. I can't let that slide.
To get behind Gohan by then winding his arm back by responding is what I've always seen when I looked into your eyes, Gohan. Despite you being far older than you were when we first battled, you are still the scared little boy at your very core, no matter how powerful you become, Gohan. And that, my dear boy, will never change between us. But fortunately enough, before Gohan's body was then shown having to hit the ground, as Gohan went as far as to break his fall, was when Gohan then went on to shout, no, that's not true, and I can't let him use this moment to get inside of my head and weigh me down now, and especially not now. You aren't going to beat me as easily as you think, Cell. But then, it was only just as Gohan went on to look on up in the sky and noticing a barrage of energy blasts raining down on him was when Perfect Cell Max then went on to respond, oh, don't you worry, for I'll be the judge of that, and so we'll see which one of us will remain. But if you think that I'm done with you, then you have another thing coming, Gohan. As seconds later, with Gohan being shown getting into a defensive position and having to endure all of Cell's attacks, was when Gohan then went on to utter, I can't let him take my pan away from me. I must fight back and break through. Surely you can somehow go and find a way to power yourself out of my attacks, can't you, Saiyan? Because you and I both know that you can't keep your guard up like this forever. And so how will you respond, Cellmax questions? Can you even respond? Because I think that you are at the limit of your power, Gohan. Oh, too strong. He just keeps coming, but I can't let him stop me from reaching her. And I can't let Lord Gardox break me down and win, Gohan. You can't break yourself. There has to be a way, and I must find it. I must go and find it before it's too late, because I don't know on how long I can keep this going like this. I'm losing ground against him. But then, it was only from out of nowhere through the smoke where Perfect Cell Max was then shown having to make his way in and punching Gohan in the stomach, with Piccolo having to chime in. He can't do it. Gohan's fighting with everything he's got, but it's still not enough to make a difference here. Cell Max's relentless assault is too much for Gohan to handle, and I'm starting to see the strain in Gohan's movements during the battle as well. And he's beginning to lose more and more power faster than he can muster, for this is now starting to turn into a one-sided battle. How are you able to move in like that and cut through my guard like this, Gohan questions. The question is not about how, but mainly about why, Gohan Perfect Cell Max responds. Why is it that you were able to acquire yet another new transformation, yet fail in using the nature behind this power to stop me?
I mean, you whooped your ass last time.
Because you are weak, both physically and mentally, Gohan. You should have known that in a true test of strength, one-on-one, you could never beat me, Cell Max continues. It's a bitter realization, isn't it, that without the aid of those who you cling on to, you are utterly insignificant. You've always needed for someone to save you, to guide you, but alone you falter and
he cooking your ass, Gohan.
Today you've proven my very points by revealing who you truly are, Cell continues. And what you amount to is nothing more than dead weight, Gohan. And with that god of destruction breathing new life into me, you are without a hope of beating me. As Pan went on to oversee her dad having to tremble and having to fall before Cell Max by then responding, Papa, no! Please stand back up and fight, Papa! Please don't let that monster hurt you like this anymore! Why are you doing this to my Papa and Uncle Piccolo, Mr. Green? With Gardox responding, why? Because it's fun. That's why, little girl. And I just love watching Beerus' most revered and powerful warriors suffer, especially if it's on behalf of Beerus' name, so that's why. Now sit down, little one. To which back on over with Perfect Cell now shown having to extend his arm out in looking to destroy Gohan once and for all was when Cell went on to respond. And now, before I go and finally end this, let me imprint one final truth down your broken spirit, so that way you may carry it on with you through the afterlife, Gohan. You will never possess the strength that your father has to fight for those whom you love and want to protect, Cell continues. History will not be so kind to you, Gohan, as today I will go on to rewrite our history that has haunted me for so very long, as no longer will I be the one who will be known to have been destroyed by you, but you will be the one who will forever be known as being the one that was destroyed
the battle is 2-1 now,
Gohan, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 15/Universe 16 Sagas manga chapter number 7 special then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here.
Anyway, man, this is a good chapter, very, very good chapter. Beerus, that nigga Beerus on a mission. He's on a mission. This nigga trying to be the most powerful god of destruction of all time. Gohan Gohan, how Gohan gonna get out of this, man? I'm pretty sure they go pull something out their ass. You know what I'm saying? Gohan, you know what I'm saying? He gonna do his thing. Piccolo got something planned. I swear he do. I know he do. And shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. Make sure you check out the last chapter right here. Check out another story right here, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.